Hello everybody, I'm Jaydeep and today I've decided to speak on something. But one thing I'll tell you, I'm not going to be speak on anything related to coronavirus. The very simple reason is that A, you must have got thousands of jokes, videos, information, misinformation, and a lot of other stuff related to that. And the second reason, of course, is that Nitin Nagarale has told me that he's going to kill me with the nearest available projectile, even if I try to speak about it. So, nothing to do with coronavirus. What I'm going to talk about today is public speaking. Now, public speaking has got two aspects. One is you just get up on the stage and you start speaking about whatever you're to speak about. The second thing is when you do the speaking, you have to do it with a certain amount of confidence, a certain amount of elan, a certain amount of show, flair, whatever you want to call it. So we'll concentrate on those aspects of public speaking which brings forth those advantages that you have as a public speaker. Now, I must tell you something. With all these years that I've been speaking in public, especially with HPMF, I found that a lot of people don't want to get into public speaking. So even if there are requests from us to sort of talk about, so if there are requests from us that you should go on stage and please speak about some topic, whether it's a panel discussion, whether you're just speaking about a certain topic, there's a lot of reluctance among people. A lot of people either don't want to participate, and even if they do, they're very scared about it. They always say, tell me, Dada, कुछ question बता दो ना, क्या बोलना है मुझे बता दो ना. Now, see, this is not unnatural at all. A lot of people have told me, for you it's very easy, you just go up on stage and speak. It's not. Let me tell you a secret. Even a few days ago, or a few years ago, rather, I did not have that capacity to go up on stage and speak the way I do now. It's not something which I was born with. It has just happened. And why it has happened is because I took the interest to do it and do it properly. So let me tell you a few secrets which I personally follow, and I'm sure it's going to help you quite a lot with public speaking. Now remember one thing, public speaking does not necessarily mean that you have to speak in public all the time. It could also mean your interaction at your workplace, with your bosses, with your seniors, with the people around you. As long as you show confidence, you show you have the ability to grasp matters and speak properly upon it, you will always be considered to be a good employee, and it will always help you in your future. So from that point of view, let's look at it now. Now, I was talking about stage fear, right? Many of you or many people are very scared to go up on stage and speak. There could be two reasons for that. One is you feel that if you start speaking and you start stumbling, you have this sudden block in which कुछ भी याद नहीं रहता है, आप भूल जाते हो, खड़े हो जाते हो, and then you're thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do next? So that is fear number one, which is the fear of public speaking and which is known as stage fright in our language. The second thing is the fact that you might feel that if I say something wrong, the audience will laugh at me. That's a very, very common fear actually. Okay. Now, I really don't know how to sort of give you assurances that the audience will not laugh at you. But obviously, if you do things right, if you do things in a proper way and keep the audience engaged with a certain amount of elan and flair, then there is no question of the audience laughing at you. So let us get on to those points which will make the audience appreciate what you're going to be saying. Number one, you have to connect with the audience. Now, when I say connect with the audience, you have to ensure that you keep your eyes and ears open as to what sort of audience do you have in that hall or wherever you're speaking. Okay, is there more of procurement people, for example, purchase people, for example, people who you can relate with in your own job? Then you can always talk to them on those particular matters and on that particular level. Now, if it consists of people from another industry, then it would be stupid of you to talk about procurement or something related to procurement. But you can definitely talk about something which has got common in it. So when I said procurement, not from the industry, right? You can always talk about procurement, but which is not from the industry. Or if you find that the audience is a mix, or you can see that the age group of the audience is different from yours. Some are, maybe it's a younger audience comprising of students, or maybe it's an older audience comprising of people who have been in the industry for a long time. It is best to avoid speaking on those aspects which are only common to you but not common to them, right? So connection with the audience in terms of reading what the audience wants and delivering on those aspects. Second thing, use humor. Now this is not something again which happens overnight, right? So humor is something which is your weapon, and you have to use that weapon very, very judiciously. You should not crack jokes which are political, which are religious, or which can hurt the sentiments of the public. You should crack jokes possibly at yourself, possibly at that environment, and something which is very relevant to the topic. Then it's fine, all right? I often crack jokes at myself, which I think is the safest way of going about it. So if you plan to do that, cracking jokes, you have to be careful on how you do that. Third aspect, when you are on stage, all right, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind. First of all, use of space. Now, it's most boring for the audience to look at a person standing behind the podium and just speaking into the mic like that. People go to sleep. What you have to do is use the stage, use the front edge, the back end, use your movement, use a lot of hand movements, walk around, try and get the attention of the people all the time, you know. So if you stand in one place and keep talking, you'll find people are busy on their mobile phones, or they're talking among themselves. You need to be able to engage with them. If you move forward a bit, people will follow you. If you move backward a bit, people will follow you. If you go left and right and speak to certain parts of the audience, or maybe even at the back of the audience, you know, pull them out. You have to generate the interest of the people in what you're saying. So you have to be able to get into a situation where you are alert at the moods of the people who are sitting in front of you and listening to you, and you also understand, okay, this is the right time to do this. So either crack a joke, or you make fun of that particular situation, or you do or you say something which is in a very serious note when the audience is really listening to you. So you have to gauge the audience's mood and talk accordingly. Another point is that don't be afraid to be emotional. Emotion is a human quality, and people will appreciate if you use emotion. So if there's something which is a story that you have to talk about, which is emotional, which make the people even cry, if the audience cries, so be it. And if you can make them laugh, so be it. So in that particular situation, use emotions as much as possible. There is no pabandi to it. As much as you can, speak from here, from your heart. If you speak from your heart, people will appreciate you more. Now, last 2 points which I'm going to talk about is more to do with the tips. Now, many of you would be on stage either as a moderator or as a participant in a panel. Now, if you are a participant in a panel, I find the best thing to do is listen carefully to what the moderator is asking you. Many times I've found that people don't listen to the question properly. They just answer whatever is in their minds and what they think they should be answering. No, it is a live panel discussion. It means that situations will change from moment to moment. When the situation changes from moment to moment, you have to adapt accordingly. You just can't pre-thought notions and pre-thought items in your mind, and you just can't talk about that. You have to go with the flow of the discussion. So please keep it in mind. Listen to the moderator carefully and answer the question only when you have understood it properly. There's no harm in asking the moderator to repeat the question. There's no problem at all. If necessary, you can repeat it 10 times, but you have to understand what you have to say. Number 2, and this is very, very important, prepare on the subject that you've been asked to speak about. It is not a joke. If you have come as a panelist on a discussion, it means that you're considered an expert on that particular subject. So make sure that you give your best to that particular subject. So please prepare. Now, tips for being a moderator, if you are a moderator. The most important tip is to understand that a moderator does not take sides. He is a neutral person. Recently, I was a part of a panel wherein I found this moderator. He had not only the questions with him, he had also the answers with him, and he decided to read out each and every answer after every question asked. Makes no sense. As a moderator, you're not supposed to take sides. Even if you do not like the conclusion of the discussion, you will only speak about the conclusion as it has come out from the panel. That's it. Secondly, very careful with how and when you use your mic. Now, I personally prefer to use a cordless mic because it allows me the freedom to move around. And I would also use a collar mic when the discussion is long, so I can use my hands like I'm doing right now, as you can see. However, the biggest mistakes the moderator makes is standing at the podium. If the mic is here and he's speaking to the guys there or to the panel there, and he turns his face, the mic is here, and half the words are gone. So this is something which you have to be very careful about. When you're speaking to an audience, you have to move your mic along with that as well, so that your voice through never stops. Second thing, also be careful as to where you keep your mic when you throw it. Very close to your mouth, and people will not be able to hear, it becomes garbled. Very far away, again people will not be able to hear you. So maintain that particular distance where your voice through is completely audible. Today, that's about it. For the time being, I welcome your queries, questions, any comments, and I'm going to leave you with one very important question for you to ponder. The question is, do bald people use shampoo? Take care. Bye-bye.